Welcome back to the Kroger 250. It's Kyle Busch in front of Todd Bodine and Kevin Harvick. They're your top three. Green flag back in the air.
It looked like the 30 of Todd Bodine, the 2 of Kevin Harvick, may have had a little better truck before the caution came out than Kyle Busch. We'll see what happens now. Johnny Sauter on the inside trying to get another lap back, racing Kyle Busch.
Boy, Kyle Busch is so good on these restarts. Not only when he goes through the gears, but just making a couple of corners, getting himself a gap. That's where his gap came from on the last restart, and they never could catch it back. Now he's put himself in front of the 13 truck, got a pick between he and the second place truck.
He drove in 3 on that restart hard,
and he made it work.
Stuck.
Made it work.
Take a look at this. A good battle for 5th. Timothy Peters and Mike Skinner. Skinner with the preferred line on the bottom of the racetrack. Peters a little bit aggressive coming out of the turn. Oh, some more bumping and banging.
Skinner said, that 7 truck's in front of me. I need to move to the outside, and he did, and Timothy Peters was there. Fortunately, backed off and got on the brakes and kept from having very significant contact with the outside wall.
That's hurt Timothy Peters, though. He's got James Buescher on the inside of him. Makes a good corner there to try to get ahead of Buescher, but can he do it?
Can't come down on the racetrack. Buescher into the back of the 17, and caution comes out once again.
Sometimes you get saved by the caution. Peters was just ahead of Buescher, and then the caution falls. Now he can get back in line and try to regroup. Skinner got on the inside of him. They bounced around a little bit, and he lost 2 or 3 spots, had a top 5 run going.
Debris once again bringing out the 9th caution of the day.
I think maybe Timothy went up there and told Mike he didn't like the way that went down.
I think probably so. Remember now, this is when they came off turn number 4. Timothy got a little bit sideways, and then Mike said, hey, I got to get to the outside.
Timothy got into the wall there,
look at the rear bumper of the 5 truck. That's probably what brought off this caution flag, part of that tailgate there.
Flapping in the wind for Mike Skinner.
These caution laps are playing into Kevin Harvick's hand. We knew we needed some more caution laps. He's getting them.
He and Kyle Busch both looking for fuel mileage to help out their fuel mileage.
87 laps to go when they get to the line this time.
Should be a pretty quick caution here.
Probably a good chance we'll have some more caution laps, I would think.
There's a good chance. We're on our 9th caution.
Seems to be a theme.
Well, I think when we come to short tracks, we sometimes expect that they're going to bump and bang, and every now and then somebody gets turned around, some debris gets left on the racetrack. But the best place to be, obviously, is in front, and you've got Kyle Busch out there now. He hasn't had to deal as much with Johnny Sauter as, for example, Rick Crawford did at the beginning of this race, when it was really a headache for Crawford.
Johnny Sauter made Rick Crawford's life miserable up at the front. He couldn't get rid of him, couldn't do away with him, and finally wound up losing the lead to Ron Hornaday because of Johnny Sauter.
So the field lines back up again as we're getting ready for the restart, and I think now that we've seen obviously 150 plus laps as we're down to the final 100, we've seen a couple different strategies start to play out, and right now this fuel mileage play for Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch is looking pretty good.
I think the most interesting strategy right now is what Ron Hornaday is doing. He's back in the 12th spot, and he's got the freshest tires on the racetrack. We think, or me and Todd do, we believe that he can go up and win the race.
Right.
Phil's not so sure.
I don't think he can get back to the top 5 now, but Kyle Busch pitted a number of laps before Kevin Harvick. They're not talking about needing the caution laps quite as much, but I think Kevin Harvick should be within his window right now of getting to the end of this race without having to stop again.
You know why Kevin's so nervous? He ran out last year.
Exactly.
So you want to have a little extra just in case, especially when you have that history.
A little bit more on that. Let's go to Adam Alexander.
And actually, under this caution, they're not even talking about fuel conservation. They're talking about the chassis. Ernie Cope, the crew chief, just asked Kevin about the sunshine coming out and if that had helped his truck. Kevin said, nope, I'm just too tight. And in regard to that skirmish we saw on the racetrack a moment ago between Mike Skinner and the 17 of Timothy Peters, Skinner just came on the radio and said, tell the 17 I was just trying to get around the 7. I wasn't trying to put him in the wall. It's way too early for that.
They've been trying to put people in the wall since they threw the green.
Yeah, there's 85 laps to go. Way too early.
And Timothy Peters didn't care why Mike Skinner ran him into the wall. He just knew that he did.
He did. ran him into the wall. So we're seeing a little bit more sheet metal damage on these trucks as we wind down. 85 laps to go. Kyle Busch takes the green. We're back underway.
Kyle Busch trying to do a little stutter step there to try to beat that 13 truck. He's got a half a truck link on him, and let's see if he can beat him off turn number 4 or turn number 2.
He does. Will he dive down in front of him? Yes.
So Johnny Sauter again scored 8 laps down to the field.
He's gotten 3 of them back. So you got to like the way Johnny Sauter's thinking. He's thinking he needs to get all of them back, and has had a chance to do so. He's been right there.
We like what he's doing, but probably nobody on the racetrack that he's racing around like Kyle Busch and Todd Bodine, Rick Crawford earlier.
I think right now Kyle Busch likes what he's doing because he's right between he and the second place truck.
Chris DeVota.
Well, it's all about the numbers game. We may be back under green, but our 2 leaders, the 51 and the 30, they are looking for some more yellow flags. They are going to be just a little bit short if we don't have any more. Right now, they're asking for the number. How many more caution laps do we need? Todd Bodine needed 20 more before that caution. Kyle Busch said he now needs 17.
17 caution laps in our final 81. I don't know. It's going to be close. We're going to see, I think, a really close end to this race as far as people trying to conserve fuel.
Great battle for 5th right now. Rick Crawford, the 14 truck, our pole sitter on the inside, trying to get by Johnny Benson.
Guess who's joined this battle for 5th, Phil? He's got a steer on his hood.
Yeah.
At 33. Ron Hornaday back there.
He pitted, dropped all the way outside the top 20, and has raced up to the top 10 and is in the pack where 5th place is.
Got by Matt Crafton.
Took that spot away from Matt Crafton.
Remember, I was talking to Rick Wren this morning. He said, remember, we got beat by tires last year. We don't want to be in that situation again. Look at Rick Ron. 3 wide.
And Hornaday will go in there.
3, and Ron Hornaday stays on the gas long enough to take the position away. There's a battle for 2nd. Kevin Harvick puts the nose.
There's going to be contact right there.
Look who's joined this battle for 2nd.
A little bumping and banging right there between Todd Bodine and Kevin Harvick. Harvick on the inside, Bodine on the outside. Here comes the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Is he going to make it 3 wide?
He is as they go down the front stretch. It is Mike Skinner on the inside. Mike gives up a little position and allows Kevin Harvick to take the curb spot.
We heard Mike Skinner talking all day Friday about how confident he was in that truck, and now here we are inside 75 laps to go, and he's trying to get the 2nd spot.
Oh, look at Todd get sideways.
Todd Bodine. He tries to keep it out of the wall, bounces off the wall as he comes out of turn number 4.
Here. Come on. No caution. Come on.
Damage to the right front of that truck now. It's rubbing on the right front tire.
The good thing
right
about
front, bottom of the splitter, Mike. Right front, bottom of the splitter.
He's got a pit. That splitter's all back into the tire, and the splitter's made out of Kevlar. It'll rip through a tire in 2 seconds.
Todd Bodine running 2nd. He was battling with Kevin Harvick. Harvick takes a position away. Bodine into the wall. Take a look.
He's on the outside. This is going down in turn number 3. Todd gets in the throttle, gets a little bit sideways, does a great job saving it, but he just gets behind on his steering, makes a little bit of contact. Right now,
the debris.
Right now, he's hoping that piece of splitter falls off, but not into the right front tire.
It won't run long like that, Phil. Look at that.
You heard him driving the whole time, though, on the throttle, off the throttle, trying to get that truck straight.